November 1st, a date that has witnessed America testing the limits of its power with devastating consequences. It's a day when we detonated a weapon we couldn't control, escalated a war based on a lie, and ignored warnings that would lead to tragedy. What connects these events? A dangerous pattern of acting first and asking questions later. This is the story of America's greatest mistakes on November 1st. Throughout history, America has faced moments where ambition outpaced wisdom, where ideology overruled evidence, and where confidence became arrogance. The results have often been catastrophic. On this November 1st, we're examining three critical errors: a nuclear test that poisoned its own people, a political deception that escalated a war, and an intelligence failure with tragic consequences. Welcome! Please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's begin with the day the Earth shook a little too much. Mistake number 1. Operation Ivy, the Castle Bravo Prelude, 1952. It's 1952. The Cold War is freezing over, and the United States is racing to build bigger, more powerful nuclear weapons. But in our rush to outpace the Soviets, we began cutting corners with terrifying consequences. The context: the U.S. was conducting atmospheric nuclear tests in the Marshall Islands to develop its hydrogen bomb program. The military was confident it could control and contain the effects. The November 1st test. On November 1st, 1952, the U.S. detonated Ivy Mike, the world's first full-scale thermonuclear weapon. It was a success militarily, vaporizing an entire island and creating a fireball over 3 miles wide. The mistake. The critical error was the hubristic belief that these tests could be conducted safely. Ivy Mike and subsequent tests like Castle Bravo unleashed massive, unpredictable amounts of radioactive fallout that contaminated nearby islands and the crew of a Japanese fishing boat, the Lucky Dragon, causing severe radiation sickness. The consequence: the tests exposed thousands of Marshall Islanders and U.S. military personnel to dangerous levels of radiation, leading to long-term health problems, birth defects, and the permanent displacement of communities. It sparked international outrage and revealed that the U.S. government was willing to sacrifice the health of both its own citizens and allied populations in the name of national security. The lesson: the pursuit of technological superiority without adequate regard for human safety or environmental consequences creates a legacy of suffering that lasts for generations. Mistake number 2. The Pentagon Papers and Vietnam Escalation, 1965. From a literal explosion in the Pacific to a political explosion in Washington that would reveal the truth about a war built on deception. The context: the U.S. was deeply embroiled in Vietnam, with the government publicly insisting it was winning and that the war was necessary to stop communist aggression. The November 1st revelation. While the Pentagon Papers were leaked in 1971, the documents themselves revealed that as early as November 1st, 1965, the Johnson administration was making critical decisions to dramatically escalate the war. The mistake. The fatal error was a systematic policy of deception. The papers showed that successive administrations had knowingly lied to the American public about the war's progress, the likelihood of victory, and the scale of U.S. involvement. They concealed pessimistic reports and escalated the conflict despite knowing the grim prospects. The consequence: the deception, when revealed, shattered public trust in the government, giving rise to the credibility gap. It prolonged a war that would ultimately claim over 58,000 American lives and millions of Vietnamese lives. It demonstrated that the government was willing to sacrifice truth and lives to save face, creating a wound in the American psyche that has never fully healed. The lesson: when a government lies to its people to justify war, it doesn't just lose a conflict, it loses the public's trust, which is the foundation of a democracy. Conclusion. So, what connects a nuclear test, a secret war, and a terrorist warning? They all represent a failure of responsibility by those in power. In each case, the American people were treated as subjects to be managed rather than citizens to be served. The truth was the first casualty, and the consequences were measured in lives, health, and trust. November 1st teaches us that the greatest mistakes aren't accidents. They are too often calculated choices made in secret rooms. The lesson is eternal. Power must be checked by transparency, and ambition must be tempered by humanity. Which of these failures of leadership do you think was most damaging? Let me know in the comments. If you believe in learning from our past mistakes, please like and subscribe for more daily history. Thanks for watching.